Hey, how you doing? Yeah, regular walk and talk. I think it's on, yeah. Much nicer day than the weather predicted, which is good. Started off kind of cloudy, but quite spectacularly nice now. Anyway, irrelevant. It feels good doing a regular walk and talk. Anyway, stiff neck, which isn't good. But anyway, I'll work through it. Yeah, I'll work through it. Yeah, I want to pick up the stick. I just saw a stick. Yes, my brain is active. It's engaged thinking. Anyway, which sort of brings up Fred. He sort of analyzing every bit of his little walk and talks lately. Anyway, he did a video on the antinatalism thing, and I was going to do a similar video on the similar subject, so that's good. In Stickam, Karina had brought up this word authority. So I'm not really directing this at her. I mean, it's a generic argument thrown at us from people who are glued to this default that somehow nature knows what it's doing, that somehow there's some greater authority than us in any decision, realistically. It's almost like people who complain about Monsanto doing experiments on grains. Well, guess what? Nature's doing experiments all the time. All right, polio, syphilis, AIDS, those are all nature's experiments gone completely haywire. 99% of all species have gone extinct, and the only ones that haven't gone extinct are the ones that are currently existing. Okay, and so in a sense, their days are probably numbered too. I mean, maybe you can never kill cockroaches and dragonflies, but most things are durable, endurable, and vulnerable to nature letting something loose. One of its experiments will get loose, and it'll be the doom of somebody, like a comet even. That's nature coming to get you. Anyway, this idea, though, of authority, that somehow we have to acquiesce to some other authority. So Fred just raises this question, can we even evaluate the system of our existence, the system that created us? Well, I think of course we can. The argument is, can we do it by some logical standard? And I would argue that's true with all systems that you evaluate. First, you have to define what you're after. I mean, we could evaluate the productivity of the combustion engine over time. But if the combustion engine, it's hugely productive when you have cheap oil. And then it's almost maybe productive when you're using coal. But what if you pollute the environment and everybody dies? Well, then it was hugely unproductive. So until you can write the final word, you can't, describe its productivity. You can only surmise it under some limitation. You can make the same argument, if we were to find some alternative energy source, but it had a huge risk tied to it that, you blow up the whole planet. Well, obviously, if you blow up the whole planet, it wasn't very productive. In terms of what normal people evaluate as productive. By my standards, I guess it would be hugely productive. Exactly what we want. So yeah, let's go for it. More experimenting, please. See if we can blow this place up. Yeah. So anyway, so it's all about what you're valuing. And I've sort of made this argument like slavery. We could argue that North American slavery, let's say, just American slavery, was hugely productive. The question is, was the price worth the productivity? And I guess if you're from a pro-American perspective, you could argue, well, it was much better for America to rule the world. And if it wasn't for slavery, you could almost argue, North American slavery, that there would have been no superpower to combat Russia, or no superpower to defeat Nazi Germany. And, it's sort of an argument. Because let's say that America was 100 years behind in terms of its industrialization, at the time of World War II. America couldn't have come to the rescue. It's that kind of argument. Yeah, but by the same token, America created technologies that the Germans were using to have such a strong army. So it works both ways. But the point is, human progress was hugely advanced through slavery. So the only question becomes now is an ethical one of fairness. And it's a nice concept, fairness. But if you're going to use that as a standard, like something must be fair, it can't, it can't create Jesus Christ. It can't force one individual to take all the pain while the others take all the gain. Right? Theoretically, it would make sense, logically, but we say that's unfair. We couldn't, to cure somebody else of a disease, we wouldn't sanction seizing somebody off the street, imposing the disease on him, killing him, for those 100 people that would be cured. No one's going to be able to say that's a fair equation or an acceptable one ethically or socially. And but the catch is, if you're going to go by that kind of bad logic, emotional logic, then on the subject of antinatalism, you lose right from the start. Right from the beginning, you lose. Because having babies is an unfairness. You don't ask permission. I mean, it's been said before to you fuckers, but god damn it, you have no excuse. It is an unfairness. You impose it. All right? So there, you're done. You can't, Fred made the argument that you can't get into a discussion of values, one man's suffering versus the other's pleasure. And of course you can, especially in a fairness argument. But I think, of course, you can even outside of the fairness argument. It's not like the system on its own is balanced. Like the default isn't just the right amount of pleasure and just the right amount of suffering. That's not the default. Okay, we can judge whether it's, acceptable by a standard. We definitely know, I think pretty clearly, that if the whole universe only incurred a stubbed toe, and that was the only negative sensation ever felt, then it probably doesn't matter. Okay, go ahead, have a few trillion people. So we know those extremes. And again, it's just fighting over what's on the fence. And maybe there's a ton of shit on the fence. Maybe the majority of equations are sitting on some fence somewhere. But the point is, we can make judgments. And that's all evaluations are. And that's where you get authority from, is making qualified or informed or educated or beyond a reasonable doubt type evaluations. So I'll get back to Fred's remark. Alright, something about the making the equation. Yeah, so again, you can't, if it was just one individual who was, without his permission, had suffering imposed on him, it wouldn't matter whether 100 people or 1,000 people or 100,000 people or 100 million people were going to live a good life because of his pain. It's still not fair. So by the fairness argument, the same argument we would say Stalin was evil, or Pol Pot was evil, or slavery was evil, by that same standard, we fail, you fail. Okay, because you're the imposers. It's clearly an unfairness. Imposition is an unfairness, especially when it's not necessary. Again, let's be clear on this. There's no necessity to reproduce. It's not required. It's not necessary to your securing comfort. So it's just a crock of shit. It's a clear violation of somebody else's right to immunity from your decision. Their right to be left alone, to left separate from any kind of bizarre and strange, perverse, sick activities you want to engage in. It's a rape. Yeah, it really is. You're deciding that you have some perverse desire to do something, and you're basically imposing your perversion on entities that don't get to say yes or no. And just because the majority of them will be propagandized and programmed to say yes, to say thank you very much, I'm so glad to be on island shit fucker, because most of them can be sold a preposterous bill of goods that they're winning. You're winning. Yes, you really are. You're winning, you little fuckers, aren't you? Yes, you're winning. Oh, yeah, I'll have to do a response. The atheist part of the atheist community, the poofter wimpy part, did some kind of preposterous, oh, you're wonderful video. Oh, it was so goddamn sickening. Ugh. Oh. I could feel my immune system going insane. I was more afraid of that hunk of crap than any harsh microbe. Oh, it was just so disgusting. But anyway, but yeah, just this propaganda everywhere. And that's all you people got. So do a fair evaluation of the logical equation. And logically, we know what has value in this system. Feel good, comfortable. Needs satisfied, no aches, pains, angst, fear, worry, depression, despondency. Yeah, if you're clean of all that negative shit, you know, and that's good. And when you're not, you know, when you are full of that negative shit, are blighted by it significantly, yeah, that's bad. And then you just roll the numbers, and it's quite obvious that the moments of comfort, satisfaction, are meager, and there's volumes of this dead harshness. But again, remember, in the context of the fairness ethical equation, it doesn't matter. All I need is one victim to say you don't have a right, because this is a recreation. You know what I mean? If some people die to have a railway system, we'd probably say, okay, it's acceptable. Some people will have to, you know, we're not gonna pick them ahead of time. We're not gonna murder them. But yes, through the process, they will get killed to create the Hoover Dam, let's say. Yeah, we'll say that's acceptable because it's a necessary, vital, important, socially productive thing. But having kids is a recreation. It's like flying kites. Now, if kite flying, you know, created, you know, we paralyzed, you know, 50,000 people a year, let's say. 50,000 people a year were paralyzed by kites hitting them in the head. Then I think we would say, fuck you and your kite. Fly it in your living room, asshole. Keep it out of other people's business. You know, you can't be killing people for your stupid recreation, your stupid personal ambition or aspiration. You have no right to do that. You have no authority to impose. So again, back to the authority word. Nature is not an authority. We have a bigger brain than nature. It's just the truth. And so any decision is better for us to be adding guidance and input than for the nature to be left to its own devices. And the only time we are going to dramatically fail in that advisory role is if we allow our emotional bias to corrupt the decision. We can interfere, but if we're interfering for our own gain, if we're committing a rape, then what's the fucking... that obviously will not create the better judgment we're after. This will just be acting on more natural judgment, more native I desire judgment. But there is no authority. If you're an atheist, you understand. It's unintelligent design. It doesn't have a brain. That's why it's killed. 99% of the species it created is because it doesn't have a fucking brain. So anyway, and that's why it's even made, the whole system, like I said, is so stupid. You know, get born, learn how to live, learn how to function. As soon as you kind of get a little bit good at it, start dying hard. You know, let this thing break down big time. I mean, what's the fucking point? I mean, it is basically just doing a whole bunch of work to climb up a mountain and getting pushed off the peak milliseconds after you get up there. I mean, it's so fucking stupid. And so, yes, as an advisor, I have the authority to say, don't push somebody up the fucking mountain. You don't point them at it. Don't oblige them to march up it. Don't encourage it. Don't subsidize it. Don't in any way give anybody a moment to think that it's at all reasonable to think you have a right to tie a kid into that roller coaster. So I'll go back to my analogy, which is the roller coaster. Rickety, sloppy piece of shit roller coaster. And only through complete denial of reality do people tie kids into it. They just pretend with a fable, with a pile of absolute bullshit, that everything's going to be all right. And if it's not their fault. They'll just keep saying nature did it. Nature built the roller coaster. You can't tie somebody to something. It doesn't matter who built it. You tied the rope. You put the kid in the chair. You did all that. Nature didn't do that. You did it. Your fucking piece of shit, lousy, rotten, defective brain did it. There's no other excuse for the result but you. It's all your fucking fault. Again, you can't blame a bad architect if you know the building sucks. If you know a moron built it and you walk in it and decide to live in it, then it's all on you, asshole. There's nobody else, nothing else to blame but motherfucking you. Jackasses. So anyway, there is no authority. We are the authority. We have the qualified competence. We have the qualified better judgment. We are qualified. I mean, it's the key word. I do need a stick for cameraing. This one might work. It may suffice for my purposes. Now, I've got to get some good fish video somewhere. Anyway, use a longer stick, but take what I can get. Whoa. So anyway, we'll end with something more pleasant. Relax a little. Couple deep breaths. Slow down the walking pace. Lovely. Isn't that? Oh, butterfly. It's actually a cabbage moth. They're just fucking menaces too. Little menaces. They all their little maggoty caterpillars on things. Consumption. Poop. Fuck them. Little fuckers. Yeah. So I mean, you have to look at the big picture. No problem looking at the big picture. Can't just look at the fluffy wings and say, ooh, pretty. No, you have to look at the whole game. It shits, you know. It consumes. It propagates. It does a whole bunch of other shit. Horsefly. Yeah. And so it's just nonsensical to just say, oh, I'm not gonna look at the whole thing. The harsh, brutal imposition of the horrid suffering. No, I'm just gonna say, oh, baby smiled and said, daddy waddy. Oh, and it gave me a little thrill, which I don't even understand anyway. But let's say if it does give you a thrill, your thrill, you don't have a right to secure it through my daddy waddy. God, this horsefly will not leave me alone. Dumb bastard. It sucks when you get bitten on your hand, you know, because it just end up tearing your hand open, and that's no good. But anyway, yeah, so that's a nice little add-on here, a little extra quality, free, no charge. It's like getting an extra 10% of paper towels or something, you know, same price, extra 10%. You know, of course, it costs the company about, I don't know, 4 cents, you know, 2 cents to give you that extra, but, you know, whatever. Probably less than that even, a millicent. Yeah. I'd just like to be able to buy like a contract for a lifetime supply of everything I need. Just give me the lifetime supply price. Ew, one of those faggoty balloon things. Ew. That's a bad sign for the antinatalist. Usually indicates some kind of sadistic birthing took place. Some sadistic motherfucker has again unfairly imposed on a little poop monster. Ooh. Goddamn bastards. Fucking Nazi jackasses. Goddamn goose stepping their goddamn vaginas on top of my head. Fuckers. Keep your vagina out of my business. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't like your vagina. I don't want to be in your fucking vagina. Oh, ducks. Don't have no fucking kids, you dumb fuckers. They just get run over. I've seen it. You hear me? Don't give me that quacky quack shit. Give me a goddamn argument. You fucker. Alright, I can hear you saying, okay. Please agree with me. He will wear a condom. Said he will responsibly exercise his joyful sexual practice. And he understands that his little chicklets would be doomed anyway. Doomed. Even if they had a good life, it would be a bad life. Because they just end up being eaten by maggots in the end. So, smart duck. So be as smart as a dumb fucking duck. And don't have no fucking kids, you fucking retards. Jesus. Anyway, another great Inman video. Yeah. Holy shit, that guy's crazy. He's talking to a duck. Did you see that? He talked to a duck. Holy shit. Alright. Doesn't matter. I may talk to whoever I like. I may analyze anything I like. I have the authority to scold this blade of grass. Fuck you, grass! There, I had the authority to do it. Because my brain is bigger than his brain. Yay! I am king. Do. Ooh. Ooh, this is a bad sign. Ooh. Yeah, it's feathers. A goose has been slaughtered. Yep. Ooh. Slaughtered. Ooh. Boy, it was really slaughtered. Ooh, it just goes on and on. Oh, man. Oh, the trail of feathers. Ooh. Hopefully there's no carcass for me to throw up on. Oh, damn. I hate planet Earth with a sincere passion. I think all you fucktards are too stupid for words. I'd like to smack you in the fucking head. That's what I dream of. Da da. What the fuck is that on that stick? It's like a piece of foam pretending to be a turtle. I've never seen that before. What a clever piece of foam. Ooh, dragonfly. Ooh, can you see that? Ooh. I wish this camera had an optical zoom so I could optically zoom. I don't have to just digitally zoom. Yeah, it's not doing anything anyway. There, it flowed. It flied. It flighted. Where the fuck are the fishes? I mean, here's fish nest. No fucking... Oh, look at the fish. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Even the fish are dying. Jesus. That's a nice sized bass, too. No oxygen. The pond is dying. Oh. Man, that's a nice sized fish. Come here, fishy. You gotta get out of that shit or you'll die. Come on, baby. Yeah, stay in the nest. You're gonna die. Oh, it's fucked. It is fucked. There's a largemouth bass. That's not gonna live. Nope. Oh well. Food for the crayfish, I guess. I don't even see anything living anymore. I mean, I can't find a goddamn frog. I can't find a snake. I can't find a goddamn thing on this fucking goddamn planet anymore. Everything's fucking dead. Shit. Well, that was fun. Oh, man. Man. What did I do with my stick? Oh, yeah, I touched a dead fish with my stick. I still need my stick. Still try to video something. Yeah, I know I should kill the fish, but I don't know. It might live. I just don't know. See, that's where we have the authority to intervene. If we're going to do it logically, it's okay. But let's concede. We're emotional animals. And so there's going to be times when there's the right thing to do, and we're just not going to be able to do it because we're emotional. And so we're going to have to do something else. But let's concede that the really big decisions we can't leave to emotion. We've got to apply logic. All right, so the little decisions, yeah, concede you're an emotional animal, and you can't take. It's not even having the authority. You can have the authority. You know you have the power and the authority. The problem is you don't have the ability because your emotional character won't let you be part of that dark side. But that dark, cold, logical side is the only salvation. It is the only thing of real value in this whole shitty mess. Look at this. There ain't a fish in one of these nests. Son of a bitch. I'm all the way over here and there's no fish. Well, now there's one. It's too far away from my stick. I have to think of something. Ah, there's one I can reach, I think. Alright, so now we'll do some business here. So until next time and such and whatnot. And so